Okay, and welcome Mid-Fairfield 2010 Nation. And it's Saturday afternoon, the 22nd of February, and we're set to bring you today's matchup. Mid-Fairfield 2010 Junior Rangers against the Philly Junior Flyers 2010. And we're coming to you live from the Martyr Family Arena in Fairfield, Connecticut, and it's home of Sacred Heart University, which is a Division I hockey program in Southeast Connecticut. It's really an up-and-coming program the last 10 years. A fantastic place. This really is one of the finest rinks that we've been in a very, very long time. Beautiful arena. And I know they have a big matchup today, the Sacred Heart Pioneers versus Bentley, I believe. And I believe it's going to decide their league title. So this will be the precursor. You'll get to see your Mid-Fairfield Junior Rangers in action on a Division I college hockey arena, which is a neat thing for the kids. Everything here, I think this opened about 3 years ago, so still has that new car smell to it. And it's a beautiful place to watch a hockey game. There's not a bad seat in the house. And so just talking about today's matchup, last time these teams played, Mid-Fairfield was able to squeak out a 2-0 victory over the Junior Flyers. And the Flyers right now, I believe, are ranked 9th in the country, so it's a tough matchup for Mid-Fairfield, ranked, I believe, currently 26th in the country. And so there's only one game today, so the goalies are going to split, I believe. So Chris Fates should get I believe he's going to get the start in between the pipes. And then at some point during the game, Joe Violante, his goalie partner, will come in and relieve him. Probably the Flyers doing the same thing. Flyers are just a highly skilled team, but also along their blue line, they have some beef back there, some big kids, and they're not afraid to hit. So this should be a good test for Mid-Fairfield going against a team that's ranked quite a bit above them, and I know the Flyers are probably eager for a little payback, and so we'll get going shortly here. And at some point you'll be able to see on the bench the coaching staff, Coach Nick and Coach Letty are the assistants, with Coach Graggs as the head coach. And we're making one final thing that Mr. Scranton must have forgotten about: the zoom capability on the camera. It's on the side right here. It's a little port. No, it's actually on the side of the camera, guys, like right here. Let me see if I can find it.
Is it this one up top?
Yeah, that might be it. Yep. Sorry. Okay. And so we should be good to go here. So Mr. Correa is on the camera. And so today's starting lineup: Yanni Malefis at center, Heckel and Scranton up front, with Coccaro and Zoo back on D. Mid-Fairfield looks to control the puck, dumps it into the Flyer zone. It's quickly thrown back out. Coccaro up with the errant pass, tries to feather it off the boards to Scranton. Scranton swats it away to the opposite side. Coccaro sweeps in, keeps it in the zone. Nifty skating by Matty Coccaro. Puck pinned up along the corner. Coccaro tossed around, and the Flyers come up with a puck. Malefis sweeps at it, but nothing. Turnover in the neutral zone. Coccaro there to pick it up. Slides it over to Zoo. to Scranton, to Malefus. And again, another turnover in the neutral zone. And here come the Flyers. Back into the mid-Fairfield zone they go. Zoo up with it. Looks to break it out. Nice passing by mid-Fairfield. Malefus able to control it, but that's going to be, no icing. Fairfield fortunate there. Turnover right next to it. Johnston shot and put in by Cullen Correa. So the goalie looks like he misplayed it, and Johnston kept digging at it. Was able to slide the puck over to a waiting Cullen Correa, who's there to tap it in. So mid-Fairfield with a greasy goal to start with right away. 15:54. And Correa going right at it with his partner from the Flyers. Correa able to sweep it back to Yoon, who taps it in the Flyer zone. They look to control behind their own net. Correa with a good forecheck. He steals it. Oh, tried to feed Lucas Ruff, but a Flyer defenseman anticipating the pass, able to steal it. Long pass. Good stick by Shunk, able to poke it out to Ruff, who slides by one guy but turns over the puck. Still, mid-Fairfield back up with it. But the Flyers up with the errant pass. Across the center line. Shunk taps it back to Johnston, but turns it back over to the Flyers, who wait. Throw it into the opposite mid-Fairfield corner. Yoon hits the brakes. And the Flyers up with it, quickly shot. Glove off of Faitch, another save by Faitch off the pads. So Yoon, long pass, trying to connect to Scranton, unable to do so. Oh, but Hannah is just hammered down to the ice. O'Neill able to get the puck, throws it on the goalie. Scranton swoops in, steals the puck over to Schwartz, who taps back to a Flyers player. Schwartz still battling. There's a stick laying on the ice that one of the Flyer players finally picks up. Flyers like these long passes. Schwartz tries to tap it out. Holds up his player for Hannah to sweep in and get the puck. Over to Beck. Beck cross ice. Tries to hit Scranton. Scranton dumps in. The goalie fields it with his stick to an oncoming Flyer player. Another errant pass. Klingenstein up with it. Throws it back in the Flyer zone. Heckel swoops in, knocks it behind the Flyers goaltender, thrown back out. Klingenstein unable to handle it, the blue line, and Coccaro up with the puck. Coccaro behind Faitch. Tries to get it to Vartanian, slides it back over to Coccaro. Coccaro across center ice, dumps it back in. Malefus with the forecheck, steals the puck. Leaves it for Coccaro. Coccaro tries to get it to Vartanian. And out of the zone. Coccaro mishandles it, goes back to Faitch, who leaves it for Coccaro. Over to Klingenstein, but the Flyers are all over it. They steal it. They're gonna have a 2-on-1 in front of Faitch. Nice play by Matty Coccaro with the poke check. Heckel now fighting for possession. Out to the Flyer blue line. They look to get set up in the mid-Fairfield zone. Out of the zone though, and Heckel lofts it up onto the Flyers net. Forecheck by Johnston, along with Correa. Mid-Fairfield trying to break this press, and here come the Flyers. Nice stick work by Yoon. Out to the blue line. Nifty skating by the Flyers player. Leaves it for his teammate. Shot, poked at, still loose out in front. Flyers player back up with it though. But good work by Yoon to tie him up. But the Flyers back up with it along their own blue line. Shot, kick save by Faitch off to the corner. Left again at the blue line for another Flyers player loose out in front. Vinny Zoo up with it. Vinny Zoo's got some skating room. Leaves it for Johnston, who gains the Flyer zone, hits the brakes, but then turns it over just above the face-off circle. Flyers look to regroup. Long pass into the neutral zone. And dumped in. Vinny Zhu up with it into the corner along with Yoon. Still battling for it. Now the Flyers back up with it and throws it out of the mid-Fairfield zone. Defenseman hadn't gotten quite over to the boards yet to stop the pass. So forecheck by Scranton along with Hanna. Oh, deflects off of Beck, I believe, but the Flyers still control. Oh, big hit by O'Neill. Just lays out the Flyers forward. Shunk now up with it, and Shunk down to the ice. Thrown back in by Beck. Scranton fighting for possession. Good forecheck by mid-Fairfield here, but the Flyers able to break it and into the neutral zone, but it's thrown back into the Flyer zone. So Malefus on the forecheck gets a stick on it. Beck now still fighting for possession. And here come the Flyers now. Shunk manages to get a stick on it, taps it out, and here comes Shunk. He's got Heckel with him. Rolling puck, just couldn't get a stick on it. Heckel now joins the fray. Heckel now up with it on the side of the goalkeeper. Out to Klingenstein, winds up, deflects off a player. Back to Shunk, deflects off one of the Flyer players. Heckel still fighting with his Flyers counterpart. Mid-Fairfield just trying to keep it in. Klingenstein able to do so. Gets it to Heckel. Heckel behind the net. He's going to survey before he shoots. Back out to Klingenstein, loses the handle. And here come the Flyers. Blocked by, I believe, by Schwartz. Must have gotten a skate on it, and it's dumped back in. Fage fields it. Leaves it for Klingenstein. Over to Schwartz. Tried to get it to Johnston, unable to handle it, but still shouldn't be an icing. Correa on the forecheck. And causes a turnover, but here come the Flyers who get it by. They're gonna have a 2-on-1 and tapped in. So mid-Fairfield unable to handle the puck cleanly in the neutral zone. Results on a 2-on-1 and just a tap-in opportunity. So they've evened up the score here at 9:07 left in the first period. So Ruff at the center with Correa and Johnston. Zhu up with it over to Kakaro. Tries to connect to Johnston. Flyer player gets in the way. Ruff able to tap it in, but only back to the Flyer defenseman. Nice forecheck by Correa, forcing the puck behind the Flyer net. Correa still fighting. There's two players on him. He's finally thrown to the ice, and the Flyers player up with it. But now Ruff joins the fray. Correa still intertwined with one of the players, and now here come the Flyers. They're going to have a breakaway opportunity. When Fairfield does get back in time. Good drop pass. Oh, beautiful stick lift, I think, by Kakaro. And now Beck up with it. And he's ridden off the puck. But the puck goes now behind the Flyers' net. Oh, good poke check there by Hanna. Zhu now up with it.
More aggressive.
Still battling on the blue line. Puck now behind Fage. Flyers control, look to set up. Scranton all over him though. Shot, blockered aside by Fage. Beck now up with it, but it's turned over at the blue line. Fortunately, Zhu's there. Gains his own, shoots, deflects off a Flyer player, and it actually got caught up, I believe, in his glove there. 7:34 left in the first period. We're all tied up here, one apiece. Mid-Fairfield striking first. with Correa, and then the Flyers getting an equalizer minutes ago, but now we're gonna have a penalty on the Flyers here. Okay, the ref didn't signal as to why, but so nobody in the stands knows, but Mid-Fairfield's gonna go on its first power play of the day. So Scranton with a face-off win, back to Malefis. Kakaro now dances along the blue line. Back to Heckel, over to Malefis. Back up to the top to Kakaro. Malefis and Heckel trying to do a passing game back and forth, and it's in! Owen Hanna there, who put a shot in on the Flyers goalkeeper. He made the first initial save, and then Hanna very calmly just taps in his own rebound. So Mid-Fairfield making the Flyers pay right away with a power play goal. So 7:15 left, and Mid-Fairfield goes up 2-1 now. So Malefis, Heckel, and Vartanian up front. Yoon and Shunk back out on D. Yoon races in, grabs the puck, throws it in. Mid-Fairfield. Oh, here comes Heckel. He's got, oh, just nice play by the Flyers defenseman. Heckel with the steal, throws it out to Malefis. Oh, he thought he had Vartanian on the wing, but Vartanian had moved in. Nice play by Shunk. Dumped the puck in, Vartanian gives chase. Flyer player overskates and Vartanian taps it back out to Shunk, who winds up, shoots, deflects off a player. Correa there to pick up the rebound. Correa shoots, deflects off a Flyer player, but Correa fights for his own rebound. Ruff and Correa going at it on the boards with the Flyers counterpart. Nice play by Shunk at his own blue line, but then turns it over in the neutral zone, thrown back out. Ruff slides it over to Yoon, who taps it back out, stolen by the Flyers across Mid-Fairfield blue line, and now stolen by Johnson, but we're gonna have a penalty here. So Correa and McCormick, his counterpart from the Flyers, were tangled up here, and it looks like Correa's gonna go off to the penalty box. So it's 6:04. Mid-Fairfield's gonna go on their first penalty kill of the day. Your penalty killers are Hanna, O'Neill, Schwartz, and Scranton. Flyers control right away out on their own blue line. At the top of the key, slides it over. Just keep trying to weasel the puck in. Mid-Fairfield getting boxed in now. Saved by Faitch. Back out to the top of the key. Another shot, misses the net. Oh, nice poke check by O'Neill to get it out of the zone. And the Flyers regroup, but they're hounded by Hanna, forcing them back. Cross ice pass. They gain the zone. Scranton all over them. Shot saved by Faitch. He didn't know where it was. The Flyers back up with it. Back out to their blue line. Slides it back over. Top of the key. O'Neill pokes his nose in there and he dislodges the puck. Scranton throws it high up and touched by a Flyer player. They're gonna force the issue. Mid-Fairfield goes for a shift change. Oh, but overskates it. Malefis thought he was gonna have a breakaway there for a second. Out loose out front, and it's finally tapped out. So nice stick work by Mid-Fairfield there. And there's gonna be an icing, but that's a good whistle for Mid-Fairfield right there. 19 seconds left on the penalty to Correa. 4:22 left in the period. So Malefus at center, he's got Kakaro out there with Zoo and Heckle. Along the boards, Kakaro trying to get it out, but the Flyer defenseman keeps it in. Back out to the blue line. Out in front, and again, nice stick work by Kakaro, but Flyers still with it. Backdoor play, but Heckle gets a stick on it. Out in front, again, Kakaro with a good stick work so far in the first period. Matty Kakaro's had 3 or 4 just instrumental tips there. Flyers look to control, but again, stick work of the mid-Fairfield defenseman causing all kinds of problems for the Flyers. Zoo now up with it. Oh, but it's turned over. Another nice stick by Kakaro, but the Flyers still with it. Flyers are relentless here, but finally Malefus looks to settle things down, but here come the Flyers again, all over Heckle. Back out to the blue line. Flyers still up with it. Tipped. Mid-Fairfield just needs a whistle here. And Vartanian able to just slide it out of the zone. So that's going to be an icing, but again, a good whistle for Mid-Fairfield. 3:06, they can get some fresh legs on. Able to kill off the penalty to Correa. So Ruff at center. He's got Johnston out there and Correa back out there. Win by the Flyers out to their Mid-Fairfield blue line. Klingenstein gives chase. Dump back in behind Fage. Oh, nice move by Lucas Ruff. Nifty skating. But again, turned back over and forced out of the zone by Johnston. Ruff and Johnston working at it, but again, turned over in the neutral zone. Here come the Flyers across the blue line. Shot, dog leg. Fage is able to get a stick on it. Flex off a couple of players. Klingenstein able to get it. Slides it over to Correa. Feathered pass by Correa up to Johnston, who gains the zone. Shot off the goalie's glove for the Flyers. Johnston still fighting for it, but the Flyers are able to gain the puck, sorry. Klingenstein gets a stick on the pass, and now Hanna up with it. Mid-Fairfield hasn't been in the Flyer zone in a while. Shot by Beck. Here come the Flyers again. Look to gain the zone. Oh, it deflected off a couple of players. Klingenstein now throws it back. Beck hadn't seen the puck. Races back. Klingenstein now looks to get it out of the zone. The Flyers are all over him, though. Back out to the blue line. Shot. Deflects off a stick high up into the air over the net. Beck with a good check there. Thrown out. Scranton now. Shot. It's deflected off a Flyers player. Stick up into the netting. So Mid-Fairfield, just the last 5 or 10 minutes, unable to do much in the Flyers zone despite having the lead 2-1. Flyers controlling the pace of play in the Mid-Fairfield zone. Win by the Flyers, but Malefus all over him. Loose puck. Malefus now still fighting for it. Tries to throw it out to Yoon. Shot. Deflects off a Flyers player. Now the Flyers are going to have a 2-on-2 here. Unable to complete the deal. Big hit by Heckle. Malefus tries to feather it to Schwartz. Schwartz now up with it. Taps it over to Heckle. Heckle swats at it, gets it out of the zone. The Flyers regroup in their own zone, but Malefus still fighting for the puck. Active forecheck. Long pass, and deflects off of Malefus' stick, or skate rather, but the Flyers back up with it. Thrown back in. Flyers up with the errant pass. Out in the slot. Oh, nice play by Mid-Fairfield, and Johnston able to lift it out of the zone. Flyers back up with a shot. And Faitch is able to make the save there, and that's the end of the first period. We'll take a short break and be back with you to give you the second period.
Sure. Hey, Steve, did you kill the sound for a second? So, all right, so if you push on that, mid-Fairfield 2010 elite. Okay.
All right, we're back at it here, folks. Second period. We got Ruff and Johnston and Correa out up front with Zoo and Kakaro out on D. Long pass, it's stolen by Lucas Ruff. Slides it over to Correa, tries to get it back to Ruff. Ruff now up with it. Correa gets it over to Johnston, back to Correa. Out to his defenseman, Kakaro, slides it over to Zoo. Oh, out in front, Johnston, and Colin Correa is there! Beautiful passing by mid-Fairfield. 16:32 left in the second period. And Colin Correa with his second goal right out in front of the net. So it looked like Johnston had an open net there, but he just couldn't get a stick on it, but managed to do enough, or a shot on it, but managed to do enough to slide it over to Correa, who was there. So Colin Correa with his second goal. And it looks like the Flyers are going to go for a goalie change here. So really not the young man's fault, but they're going to put in their other goalie. I mean, 2 of the 3 goals have been just mid-Fairfield right out in front. Hannah at the face-off, win by mid-Fairfield, back to Shunk, over to Yoon. It deflects off a couple of players and goes into the Flyer zone. So mid-Fairfield up 3-1. Flyers look to break it out of their own zone. Stick lift by Beck. And Scranton now and Beck working together. Scranton trying to get free, slides it over to Shunk. Shunk back over to Beck. He was unable to handle it off the boards, but he's helping Hannah out. Sorry about that, folks. So Scranton able to throw the puck around. Cross center ice, and here come the Flyers. Out in front, loose, and over the nets. Mid-Fairfield dodging a bullet there. The Flyers were right out in front of Faitch. Puck still loose. Mid-Fairfield slides it out to Scranton. Beck, the helping hand. The Flyers back in the zone, though. Again, mid-Fairfield should have. Flyers players out in front. Faitch is able to make a save with Shunk. Looked like they had the backdoor play, but Shunk and Faitch converge. to keep the puck out of the net. And Scranton forcing the Flyers back into a turnover, but the Flyers player recovers. But still fighting for possession is Scranton, and he's thrown to the ice. Mid-Fairfield's gonna go on a power play here. Fates races off. Shunk now back with the puck. Looks to get set up over to Yoon, back to Shunk. So Mid-Fairfield is gonna have a chance still here. Delayed penalty. And finally, the Flyers are able to stop play here. 14:29 left in the second period. So that's what the speed of Scranton does here, forces the Flyers into committing a penalty. Scranton just able to just slip away from the Flyers defenseman. So the Mid-Fairfield power play is going to come out here. So Hannah, Heckel, and Ruff with Coccaro and Malefis. Coccaro at the top of the key leaves it for Heckel. Heckel slides it over to Malefis, wrong side of Malefis shooting. And Coccaro back up with it, slides it up to Heckel. Heckel surveys, gets it back to Malefis. Malefis whiffs on the shot, but recovers it. Back out to Coccaro. Coccaro dances around, leaves it for Malefis. Back up to Hannah. Hannah's shot deflects off a Ruff, back to Malefis. Coccaro back up with the puck over to Malefis. Shot, and it's gloved by the Flyers goalkeeper. 13:51 left in the second period. Mid-Fairfield up 3-1. They're on the power play here. Another 1:22 left in the penalty to the Flyers. Hannah at the face-off. Mid-Fairfield going for some changes here. Win by Mid-Fairfield, out to Coccaro along the blue line, leaves it for Heckel. Heckel slides it over to Malefis. Coccaro, fortunately, is able to keep the puck in, puts it in deep to Ruff, back up to Coccaro, slides it back out to Ruff. Ruff over to Heckel. Heckel uses the player as a screen, gets a shot on the net. Good save by the Flyer goalkeeper, though. And the Flyers lift it high up into the air. Malefis forced to retreat, 50 seconds left in the penalty to the Flyers. Hannah now up with it, hits the brakes, lets the Flyers player go by, gains the zone. Shot, deflects off one of the Flyers players. Hannah's still with it, slides it out to Coccaro. Coccaro pinches in, thinks about shooting for a second, but leaves it for Heckel. Heckel back over to Malefis. Over to Coccaro, back to Heckel. Heckel with a shot. Oh, and tipped off a player, but gets by the net. Malefis over to Ruff. Back out to Coccaro. Coccaro at the top of the key, throws one in, too high. Mid-Fairfield reloads here. Heckel now over to Ruff, who throws it back out to Coccaro. Coccaro winds up, shot, and it's in! And I believe it's Colin Correa again. So Mid-Fairfield, Colin Correa with the hat trick in the second period, and again, Mid-Fairfield making the Flyers pay on the power play, and Colin Correa with 3 goals already. The Flyer defenseman going over and tapping his goalie. Again, there's nothing you're going to do about that as a goalie. Correa able to get a stick on that, and just a massive deflection. So Mid-Fairfield up 4-1 over the Flyers. Long pass, and it's tipped into the zone. Three Mid-Fairfield players converge. Puck skips out. Beck now with it. But the Flyers up with it. Out in front of Fates, who's able to stick it to the side. Flyers now back up with it. Out into the slot. Oh, beautiful stick work by Beck with a stick lift. Puck poked out by Correa, but kept in. Beck able to use that long reach and tap it out with his glove. It's getting a little chippy now right in front of the Mid-Fairfield bench. Beck working at it, able to throw the puck in behind the Flyers goalkeeper. 11:28 left. Oh, beautiful work by Heckel, just harassing the Flyers player the whole way down. They gain the zone though. Flyers player hits the brakes, but again, stick work shot onto Faitch that misses the net. Mid-Fairfield using those sticks effectively to break up the passes. Out in front, loose. Shot and it's gloved by Faitch. 10:56 left in the second period. So Malefis at center, won by the Flyers, but again, Vartanian all over him to force it out. Heckel now able to force the puck into the Flyers zone. Schunk able to steal it and throw it out of the zone. Flyers recover in the neutral zone, throw it in onto Faitch. Schunk able to collect behind Faitch. Schunk tries to skate it out, but it's turned over. Now the Flyers are gonna have a 2-on-1 shot, and it's gloved by Faitch. 10:23 left in the second period. So coach goes for wholesale changes here. He's got Hannah's line out there with Correa. Tipped out of the zone, and Scranton. Now Scranton's gonna have a 2-on-1 with Hannah. Scranton out in front, loose. It gets by the goalkeeper off to the side. Yoon reloads, shoots, tipped off of one of the Flyer players. Beck now slides it out to Hannah. Over to Yoon, who taps it back in. And the Flyers do a nice job to dislodge the puck from mid-Fairfield. But again, there's gonna be a offside here on mid-Fairfield. They're gonna take this at center ice. So Hannah at the face-off with Scranton and Beck. O'Neill and Coccaro on D. Coccaro picks up the errant pass, throws it over to O'Neill. O'Neill across his own blue line. Gets it over to Beck. And here come the Flyers. Out in front, saved by Faitch. Good passing by the Flyers there, but Faitch sniffed it out. Flyers still up with it. Out in front, tap in. And nothing you can do about that. Looked like mid-Fairfield and able to get it out of the zone, but a tap in there. And the Flyers are able to stop the bleeding now, and it's 4-2 Flyers. This is not a team that you can sleep on. They are a highly skilled team. So Faitch was able to make the first save. And Fairfield, unfortunately, unable to get it out of the zone, and the Flyers able to cash in there. Good forecheck by the Flyers team. Ruff now, still battling. Oh, beautiful move by Reese Johnson, who steals the puck, but then misses the net and the shot. Correa able to tap it back in. But the Flyers, again, still fighting for possession every puck. Sorry, folks. Correa still going at it with the Flyers player. We're going to have some penalties here. So Cullen Correa not only scoring today, but making friends on the ice. And both players are going to go off here for offsetting penalties. Refs talking about it. They're going to take the face-off at center ice. Malefus at center with Vartanian and Heckel. Heckel ties up the player, and Malefus able to steal. Shot. It's gloved by the goalkeeper, but then dropped. Couldn't get his whole mitt on it. Again, mid-Fairfield still fighting right in the corner for possession of the puck. Out to Shunk. Winds up. Out in front is Heckel. The Flyers do a nice job tying Heckel up. Mid-Fairfield able to keep it in temporarily, but Coccaro not able to get it deep enough. And here come the Flyers, and they're going to be offside. The Flyer player really tried to stretch out there to stay onside, but he was about a half a stride too early. All right, we're going to have some goalie changes here. So Joe Vellante is going to come relieve Chris Feich. Oh, no, we're going to do some ice here. All right, folks, I apologize about that. We didn't know that. We're going to take a short break, the Zamboni work, and we'll be back with the second half. Okay, and welcome back to the Martyr Family Arena in Fairfield, Connecticut, home of the Sacred Heart University Pioneers. And you're looking live out on their home ice. And tonight at Bentley College, and I believe it does have playoff implications. I know that it's a sold out game, so many of the kids are going to stay and watch that. And so we're just trying to get organized here, mid Fairfield. So Joe Violante is going to take over in net for Chris Faich. So Chris is going to have a seat in the penalty box, having done his job in the first half. And up front, you got Owen Hanna, Scranton, and Beck. Yoon and Shunk out on D. Mid Fairfield wins the face-off. Beck now up with the puck, gains the zone, slides it to Hanna, shot, misses the nets. So mid Fairfield with a good scoring chance right away. Puck mishandled by the Flyer forward. Yoon still battling, Flyers back up with it. Yoon still fighting on the side of Violante's shot off of Violante. I think it hit off his head. Puck is loose. So Joe is tested right away and is able to stop the puck here. So 7:42 left in the second period. Mid Fairfield up 4-2. It's a big test for Mid Fairfield going into the state playoffs. This is one of the highest ranked teams in the country right now. I believe they're 9 or 10 in the country. Puck lifted high up in the air. Lucas Ruff flying down the ice, and they're still gonna just barely call an icing. Just saw that patented Lucas Ruff speed flying down the ice. So Malefus at center, he's got Heckel and Ruff out there with him. Schwartz and O'Neill on D. So one of the Flyer players is to come off the ice. He didn't have a neck guard on. And his teammate comes out to relieve him. So win by the Flyers. Thrown behind Violante. Puck still battling in the corner. And here comes Lucas Ruff with the puck, trying to get by the defenseman from the Flyers, unable to do so. Schwartz able to dump back in, but doesn't get a full stick on it. And here come the Flyers. Back over the blue line. Flyers up with it, shot onto Violante, that's saved. Another save by Violante. Good series of saves there by Joe. Schwartz able to slide it by and gain the zone. Malefus up with it, and he's hammered to the ice, but Scranton gets there, hits the brakes, gets by the Flyers, throws it into the middle. Schwartz able to keep in. The Flyers are able to finally get it out of the zone, cross center ice into the mid Fairfield zone. And Cuccaro collects the puck, tries to hit Scranton in stride, unable to do so. The Flyers recover in their own zone. So Hanna's still fighting with Scranton. The puck is forced out of the zone. Cuccaro's going to have to fly back. The Flyer player gets by him onto Violante. Violante gets the stick out and is able to just get about a quarter of an inch of his stick, but enough. Big save by Violante there to keep this a 4-2 game. Lots of lumber on the ice right now. And they're going to call an offside. So Joe Violante with a few saves to keep it at 4-2 here. So Malefus, Heckel, and Vartanian up front. Yoon and Zoo back on D. Heckel now with the steal in the Flyers zone, slides it up to Vartanian. Zoo is able to pinch in and force the issue. Now here come the Flyers. Yoon back, and now Malefus with the steal, who's back checking. And thrown back in the mid-Fairfield zone, and that's going to be an icing. So 5:15 left in the second period. Mid-Fairfield still up 4-2. So coach running with the same group here. Malefus tied up with Vartanian. Malefus still fighting behind the net for the puck. The Flyers control. Heckel now with a hit though, but the Flyers still up with the puck. Flyers parents very unhappy. Shot out by Shunk. One of the Flyers' dads has to step away for a second. Very upset with the officiating, and that, listen, that happens. Both teams. As a son, I have a son that's a referee. It's just, they're doing their best, but there is a sense of frustration. So again, Correa up with the puck now. Tries sliding it over to Vartanian, unable to connect. And here come the Flyers back in the zone, sticked aside by Violante. And Correa with a big hit on the Flyers there. Dislodges the puck. Flyers look to reload, but stolen by Zoo and back into the Flyers zone. Violante is able to handle it, throws it high up off the glass. And Johnston's able to throw it out. Correa, though, on the active forecheck. Good forecheck by mid-Fairfield, but the Flyers are able to break it, get into the mid-Fairfield zone, out in front, and it deflects off of one of the Flyers players and by Violante. So the Flyers not willing to go quietly into the night here and cut the lead in half. So we've got a tight game again, 4-3. So Hannah up front with Scranton and Beck. Schwartz and Caccaro back on D. Win by mid-Fairfield. Schwartz over to Caccaro. Hannah now races up into the corner, gets there first, but the Flyers get there. Able to steal the puck back, break out of their own zone, through the neutral zone, across the mid-Fairfield blue line. Out into the slot, but mishandled by the Flyer defenseman. The Flyers still with the puck. Schwartz gets in the way, and Hannah is able to steal it. Throws it to Scranton, gets it to Beck. Gains the zone, tries to toe drag, unable to get by. And here come the Flyers. They look to reload again. They're gonna have a 3-on-2 here, give and go passing. But I believe that was Hannah that managed to get a stick in the way. Flyers still up with the puck out in front, throws out wildly, but Flyers are able to collect. Mid-Fairfield looking tired here. Shot, misses the net. And now here comes Kai Scranton. He's gonna have a 2-on-1. He's got Schwartz and Hannah back. Oh, and beautiful passing. Owen Hannah slid it over to Jack Schwartz, the defenseman who was pinched in, and he slid it right back to Hannah, who goes bar down, and mid-Fairfield is able to answer. 2:03 left in the second period, and mid-Fairfield once again up by 2 goals after the Flyers cut it to 1. So Malefus up front with Heckel and Vartanian, Shunk and Klingenstein out on D. Vartanian is able to steal the puck temporarily, throws it in. Flyers able to dump it in, and that's going to be an icing. 1:48 left in the second period. Mid-Fairfield with a big goal. Crisp passing by Schwarz and Hanna to once again go up by 2 goals. So Malefus at the center, he's got Heckel off his left shoulder, shot on the Flyers goalkeeper. It's turned away easily. Flyers are harassed by Vartanian, turned over to Heckel, who tries sliding it over to Malefus, but the Flyers control and out of the zone. Shunk pinches in, dumps back in the zone behind the Flyers netminder. Puck whistles out to Shunk. Shot blocked by the Flyer player, but Shunk uses that long stick to keep the Flyers from a breakaway. Flyers are going to have numbers out in front of Violante with a save. Violante with another save. Out in front, and Violante manages to get a glove on it. So Joe Violante right now is the only difference between Mid-Fairfield having a lead and having this game tied up. Heckel like a bowling ball out there, just knocking players over. 42 seconds left in the second period. Malefus with a big hit. And the puck is turned over. And there's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty on the Flyers, I believe. And the coach is just beyond irritated. As are some of the dads behind him from the Flyers squad. But nonetheless, the Flyers player is going to head off here in Mid-Fairfield, who I believe has had 2 power play goals on the day. It's going to get a chance for a third with 31.9 seconds left in the second period. So the number 1 power play unit comes out. Cullen Correa, already with a hat trick, is at the center with Johnston and Ruff. Zoo and Kakaro back on D. Correa gets thrown out of the face-off. Johnston takes his place. And puck skips out to Zoo, slides it over to Kakaro. Kakaro gains the zone. One of the Flyer players is down without a stick. He does recover in time. Johnston with a shot that's blocked by the Flyer player. Zoo able to collect. Mid-Fairfield just looking to set up shop here. Over to Kakaro. Kakaro with a shot that's tipped, I believe by Correa, but misses the net. Johnston able to force it back in. All right, folks, and that's the second period. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back at it for the third period to decide the game in just a minute. Sound off? No. I'm on now? Yep. Okay, and welcome back to the third period. Mid-Fairfield with a 5-3 lead. And just while we got a second here, this is, you see Coach Letty on the bench, and this is going to be Coach Letty's last season with the team. And I know all the parents and kids love him, and so we're going to miss him. We got him for the state playoff run. And, but it's been a good 3 years with Coach Letty as the assistant coach here. So I know he's still got a son, Charlie, playing college hockey at Quinnipiac. And he's going to get to see him a little bit more, and I don't blame him. So Mid-Fairfield just trying to control the puck. Heckel now looks to set up shop. Over to Caccaro, misfires. But Mid-Fairfield able to still keep it in. Still 59 seconds left on the power play here for Mid-Fairfield. Malefus. Mid-Fairfield getting a little sloppy in the Flyers zone. And the puck goes up into the air and the goalie's able to snatch it. So there's really some unhappy people. There's a dad that's maybe exiting the arena a little early. The coach turned around and told him to settle down, so he's unhappy. So Schwar's up with it. Over to Carre, who dances around a little bit. Over to Shunk. Shunk shields the puck, throws it back over to Schwarz. Schwarz shoots, tip, misses the net. Carre there, though. Ruff and Carre just trying to move the puck. So 19 seconds still left in the penalty. So we've got Ruff, Carre, and Johnston up front. Schwarz and Shunk back on D. Flyers coach goes for some changes here. Mid-Fairfield still up with it. Shunk now passes it along to Schwarz. Back to Shunk. Shunk winds up, shot, and it deflects off the Flyers goalkeeper. Penalty about ready to expire. Shunk again with it, shot, and it's off the head of the goalkeeper. Mid-Fairfield still up with it. Johnston puts another shot that's gloved by the Flyers goalkeeper. So it looks like Mid-Fairfield just got a penalty. Cullen Carre, who's been talking at length with some of the Flyer players, just gets a shove in on one of the Flyer players, it's called. So Mid-Fairfield, after not being able to cash in on their power play opportunity, will go right to the penalty kill. Malefus at center, along with Heckel, Shunk, and Yoon. Malefus tries to get it out, the puck out, unable to do so. Oh, good passing and saved by Violante. The Flyers had a two players right in front of Violante, moving the puck around well, but Violante stands his ground and keeps this as a 2-goal lead for Mid-Fairfield. So coach going to run with the same group of penalty killers here. The Flyers control out to their own blue line, top of the key. Behind Violante. Out to the blue line. Again, top of the key. Oh, nice play by Malefus. Oh, he was sniffing a goal right there. Yanni Malefus. He's got that play down pat where he tips the puck. on a penalty kill. It gives them a breakaway. Yoon able to force it back, but nice play by the Flyers player. But then Heckel forcing the puck out. Flyers forced to retreat. And the Flyers set up shop. Oh, nice play by O'Neill. He gets a skate on it, and here comes Heckel. Oh, he just couldn't get the puck before it's an icing. Looked like O'Neill was trying to feather it high up into the air to Heckel, but Heckel just couldn't race down there fast enough. See, all the players are moving a little slower. I don't know exactly why. It's the first game of the day. But both teams seem a little lethargic right now. Out to the mid-Fairfield blue line. Top of the key again. Shot. Violante is able to get, he gets a pad on it, but unable to get the glove. Good Fairfield still trying to force it out. Zoo along the glass. Shot, and it's gloved by Violante here. 13:21 left in the third period. So the penalties expired at this point. So Correa comes out of the box, heads to the bench. So Hannah and Scranton and Ruff up front with Coccaro and Klingenstein out on D. And Violante is able to scoop up the puck like an infielder and stop play here after a shot by the Flyers. 13:17 left in the third period. Win by the Flyers. Dumped into the opposite corner. Ruff gets over there and taps it out. Oh, beautiful play by mid-Fairfield, forcing the puck deeper into the zone by Scranton. Scranton all over the player. And finally it's turned over to Hannah, who hits the brakes. Oh, tried to hit Scranton again. And here come the Flyers. Good poke check by Coccaro, forcing the puck out. Flyer player gets out in front. Violante able to get a stick on it. And here comes Ruff. Slides it over to Klingenstein, unable to handle it cleanly. But then the Flyers turn it over in the neutral zone. Coccaro back up with it, gains the zone. It goes down hard to the ice. Johnston with a nice play to get a stick in it in the way. 12:17, oh, mid-Fairfield's gonna get called for a penalty here. Looked like a cross-check. Must have been behind, I didn't see it, folks, sorry about that. It must have been behind the play. So again, mid-Fairfield's gonna go on the penalty kill here. 12:17 left in the third period. Malefus out there again with Yoon, Correa, and Shunk. Malefus throws it over to Correa, but not out. Oh, and there he goes. Yanni Malefus again gets a stick on it, forces it out of the zone, but man, he was looking for a shorthanded opportunity. The Flyers don't seem to have caught on to that yet. He's done it about 3 or 4 times in the game. Hasn't cashed in yet, but Flyers now up with it. Passing out in front of Violante. Mid-Fairfield gets sticks down. Again, Shunk with a stick to tip the pass, and Malefus able to throw it out of the zone. And so we're gonna have an icing here. 1:10 left in the penalty to Heckel. 11:26 left in the third period. So Ruff is out there with O'Neill. Zoo And Scranton, O'Neill up with the puck, taps it over to Scranton, who tries throwing it out of the zone and is able to do so, bounding puck out of the zone. Defenseman unable to handle it. Lucas Ruff all over the Flyers defenseman. This Flyer defenseman, though, is a speedy man, and he can, good skater. He was able to break the press by Ruff and gain the mid-Fairfield zone. Shot, and it's gloved by Violante. .10:56 left in the third period, 39 seconds left in the penalty to heckle. Coach changes out his troops here. He's got Caccaro and Schunk out there with Scranton. He kept the same group. Looked like Ruff skated over to the bench for a second. And Scranton is able to lift it out. And just barely an icing there. The Flyers goalie played it well there to force the icing. 31 seconds left in the penalty. So Lucas Ruff is one of the most effective penalty killers mid-Fairfield has. Just a smart, headsy player. Flyers control. I believe Violante must have gotten a piece of it, and the puck whistles around the boards, goes into the Flyers zone. Scranton on the forecheck causes an errant pass. Flyers recover it. There goes Ruff again. Ruff's all over the Flyer players and forces the puck out of the zone. And now stolen by Hanna. Shot, misses the net. Hanna gets his own rebound. They throw it on net along with Scranton. Here comes the Flyers. Johnston now up with the errant pass, and he puts it in! Reese Johnston is able to put it in over the shoulder of the goalie. What a snipe by Reese Johnston. He had about 3 inches to put a puck in and managed to get the puck in. So mid-Fairfield just all over the Flyers in their own zone, causing turnover after turnover with the sticks. And Reese Johnston with a snipe. 9:52 left. And Owen Hanna wins it, gives it to Yoon, who feathers it into the Flyers zone, and that's going to be an icing. So Hanna up front. He's got Beck out there with Johnston, Schwartz and Yoon. Beck now up with the puck. Tries to lift it out. Pass off to the side. Shot through the crease, but in front of Violante. The Flyers back in. Oh, nice pass, but Yoon gets a stick on it. Beck able to tap it out, but not far enough. Blue line pass there. High up into the air by Johnston. Johnston with a beautiful play there to prevent the icing. And stolen now by Malefis, who gains the Flyers zone, throws it in front. Shot by Vartanian, but the goalie made a nice save there to get over in time. Vartanian back up with it, tries a wraparound. Goalie's easily able to throw it to the side. And the Flyers look to break it out of the zone. And Violante wisely lets the puck go to the side of him instead of playing it. Now there's an icing. 8:36 left in the third period. Mid-Fairfield up by 3. So Malefus back to Klingenstein's shot. Wow, that was all kinds of deflections there, but managed to skip by the net. Vartanian got it, but Klingenstein helping him out there. Klingenstein turns, shoots, and the goalie's able to glove it. But Heckel was there waiting. Klingenstein with probably the heaviest shot on the team, but credit the Flyers goalie who was able to glove it out of the air. So Ruff back out there with Johnston and Carey. In Fairfield battling with the Flyers still. Oh, big hit. Mid Fairfield able to force it back in. Reese Johnson with a great third period so far. The Flyers back in the mid Fairfield zone. Out in front. Violante was just able to get enough of it to force it past the goal. Dump back in. And here comes Ruff back up with the errant pass. Whiffs on the puck. The Flyers able to keep it in. Flyers defenseman now throws it in. Out in front of Violante. Nice play by Ruff to deny the shot. Shot blocked. And here comes Johnston. He's going to have a breakaway here. Reese Johnson out in front. Shot saved by the Flyers goalkeeper. Reese Johnson saw out of the corner of his eye those big Flyer defensemen bearing down on him. I think it might have affected his shot a little bit. And the Flyers net is off the pegs, so they're going to have to stop play here. So 6:53 left, so far since the break about halfway, it's been all mid Fairfield controlling the pace of play. The Flyers were able to get one goal in, but then mid Fairfield answers strongly back. So Hannah up front with Beck and Scranton. Coccaro and Shores back on D. Puck high up into the air, center ice. The Flyers control. But Beck trying to tap it out, but the Flyers there to keep it in. Shot off the side of the net of Violante. Flyers swoop in. Hannah now out to Beck, who's able to slide it out, and that's going to be an offside on the Flyers. 6:23 left. So as we mentioned before, this is the only game of the weekend. We're going to start the state playoffs next weekend up in Northford. Mid Fairfield's going to have to face some familiar foes in CJR and Yale and the Wolfpack. Heckel up with it. Nice stick lift by the Flyers. Malefus able to keep it back in. So next week we'll be coming to you from Northford, Connecticut. And that's the Faitch's home rink. And we're well familiar there. I was there this morning watching my lunatic grandson and his learn to play. So that's home for us, but we'll try to bring you as much of the action as possible. Flyers up with it into the mid Fairfield zone. Puck skips off the Flyers winger's stick, blocked by Shunk. Heckel just looking to waste some time and dump it in behind the Flyers netminder. 5:25 left. And there's going to be an offside on mid Fairfield. So Ruff at center, he's got Johnston out there with Carey. And O'Neill and Zoo out on D. D-to-D pass by the Flyers. Mishandled in the neutral zone, but the Flyer defenseman trying to get it into the mid Fairfield zone. Lucas Ruff preventing that from happening. Lucas Ruff like skating in a phone booth. Correa back to O'Neill, slides it over to Zoo, who's got some skating room. Loses the handle just about the blue line, and here come the Flyers. O'Neill gathers the errant pass, and the puck is tipped out into the neutral zone. Flyers look to reload here. Behind Violante, out in front. And stolen by Scranton. Flyers with a shot that's blocked by Zoo. Shot high up off the net. And here comes Beck trying to get free with it. Hannah now over the Flyers' blue line. Hannah over to Beck, shot! And over the goalie's shoulder! Beautiful passing from Hannah to Beck. And Devin Beck is able to bury one right there. And so Mid-Fairfield now with firm control of the game with 4:05 left. That's the biggest difference with today is, I mean, Mid-Fairfield has been hitting and getting their sticks down and creating problems for the passing for the Flyers, but the passing by Mid-Fairfield has been extraordinary today. On 2 or 3 of the goals, just top-level passing. Beck again feeds Hannah with a beautiful pass shot by Hannah that's padded to the side. Beck now up with the puck, gives it to Hannah. Shot by Scranton, misses the net. Against teams like Flyers, it just shows you what a crisp passing game will do. Just opens up all kinds of offense for Mid-Fairfield with this passing. Now the puck back into the Mid-Fairfield zone. Coccaro with a hip check, trying to pin the player in. Violante fields it, but the Flyers get there first. Flyers up with it. Violante fighting with the Flyers player with his stick. Mid-Fairfield able to force it out. So the Flyers gain the Mid-Fairfield zone. Shot, blocked off a couple of players, and here comes Heckel now up with the puck. Flyers still fighting for possession along with Mid-Fairfield. So Braden Heckel saying hello. He gets each player delivering their own face wash. So it looks like we're going to have some penalties here. Chris Fage opening the door for his teammate. Should most likely be offsetting, and it is. Nothing too bad, just a little pushing and shoving. So we'll skate 5 aside for the final 2:21. Mid-Fairfield firmly in control here. Malefus up front, along with Ruff and Correa. Yoon and Shunk out on D. Correa gets a shot that's patted to the side by the Flyer goalkeeper. Flyers back up with it, tapped to the opposite corner. Flyers just struggling to get it out of their own zone here. Shunk able to get that long stick there, but the Flyers control the puck even after Shunk got a tip. Out in front, skips by the net. Yoon now up with it and throws it out of the zone. Colin Correa saying hello. Cullen is just one of those kids that if he's on your team, you love him. If he's on the other team, you hate him. And he just has that edgy physical game that just gets under players' skins. But Cullen has had a tremendous year so far for Mid-Fairfield. Reese Johnston with the active forecheck. Flyers up with it on the side of Violante. No shot. 39 seconds left. And here comes Beck. Devin Beck now skating along the glass. Stolen by the Flyers. Looks like they're going to have one more chance here. Tipped up over the head of Violante. Flyers still up with it. And puck way to the side of Violante. Another shot. It's off a Flyers skate. 10 seconds left. Out in front, but stolen by Vartanian and lifted out. And so that'll be the game, folks. So Mid-Fairfield with 2 straight wins over the Flyers. One of the best teams in the country. And Mid-Fairfield able to have one of their best games from start to finish of the year. So I know that'll make Coach happy going into the state playoffs. So Cullen Correa with a hat trick. Some outstanding play by Reese Johnston during the game. And that'll be it. So we will see you next weekend for the state playoffs. And drive home safe. Have a good day. Yeah, you can just let it run. I'll deal with it. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah.